Punches are an amazing tool when it comes to crafting and making cards and scrapbook projects. They make it so quick and easy to punch out shapes to use for greetings and other things. But sometimes you may have little problems with your punches. Maybe it's not quite the size you want. Maybe you are having a hard time getting your little piece of paper in there to punch it out. I have 5 tips and tricks to share with you today for using punches that I think you're going to love. My name is Anna. I appreciate you being here. Let me share these tips with you. The first tip I want to share with you is what to do if the scrap of paper you're trying to use isn't long enough for you to hold on to it and get it punched out in the center of your punch. Here's what you can do. Grab a Post-it note, put the sticky side attaching to the back side of your paper so that it's holding together. And now you can slide it in and punch it out exactly how you wanted to. So that is tip number 1. Number 2, what if you want a punch that's a little bit smaller than the shape of your actual punch? So let's say you have a greeting you want to put onto this punch, but it's small. It looks a little awkward on this large piece. What can you do? So punch it out one time, and then I want you to put it back through your punch. And you can do this 2 ways. So one way is to actually slide it down right here until you get into the groove where it's going to punch. But I find this way a little more awkward. So what I find easier is to slide it through the groove down here and then to bring it through this direction, okay? So now you can line this up wherever you want and make it any size smaller than that original that you want to. So I like to hold it with my right hand, and I can squeeze so that it holds it tight but not punch through till I get it in the right spot. Once I have it in the right spot, punch. And now I have a beautiful punch that is going to fit the size of that greeting stamp that I mentioned that was a little bit smaller. Tip number 3, what if I want to make it larger than the actual punch? What can I do then? And here's what I can do. If it's one of these basic shapes, you want a strip of paper that is just slightly narrower than the strip itself. So what we need to do is get this so that it is inserted only through one side of the punch. So this time I was able to slide that through pretty easily. If you have a hard time doing that, do the same thing I showed you in the last tip and insert it through the outside and then pull it up through the center. So this way I have it over here on the right side. It doesn't really matter for this one whether it's on the right side or the left side, but get it in there, make sure it's even on the top and the bottom, and then punch. So now I just have one side punched out, but I need the other side punched out as well. So I'm going to do the same thing, and I have to remember which way I need to get this edge punched this time. Line it up. I can make it any length I want. Punch. And now I have a larger one than the size of my actual punch. Tip number 4, what if you want to take a punch such as this one, this essential tag punch, and have this decorative end on both sides? So from what I showed you on the last one, it is basically the same thing, but you are going to punch one end and then insert that decorative end through, lift it up because you don't want the end of the punch to punch. You just want this end right here, and punch again. Pretty cool, huh? Once you learn to use punches this way, it opens up so many possibilities for different ways to use them. And tip number 5 is, what if instead of punching the shape on the inside of the punch, you're punching the shape on the outside of the punch? And that may not make sense until I show this to you, but instead of punching this shape right here, I'm looking at the outsides like, how else could I use this? Well, I see a way I could use this. I can take this strip of paper and I can punch this from the outsides and turn it into a banner. You can do this with circle punches to get a half circle out of the ends. You can do this with a lot of different shapes. You just have to look at your shape and figure out which ones might work for you. So I hope these 5 tips help you come up with new ways to use your punches. If you're interested in these particular punches or more information on my website, you can use the links in the video description below to take a look at that. Please subscribe to my channel while you're here. Give me a like and a thumbs up. I hope you have a blessed day, and I hope you'll be back again next time when I'll be here helping you to hand make with love.